All right, guys, this is going to be a pretty informal video. We got a bunch of painting going on downstairs, so we're going to be recording up here for today. The benefit of recording up here, though, is we get to use Notepad. So Call of Duty Vanguard, new game, new engine, new performance benchmarks. So you might ask, well, don't they just release a new COD every year? Yeah, but for some reason, every single Call of Duty release just ends up having different performance metrics, and you're going to find that out today as well. So what do we got in the menu? Well, we have Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer. We have the 10900K. Oh, let me just make this bigger here. We have the 10900K. We have the 5950X. We have the 3090. We have the 6900 XT. We've got 1080p. We've got 1440p. The full gamut, baby. So the objective of this video here today is to find out which combination of these components gives you the highest FPS for these different resolutions in Call of Duty. Oh, oops. Call of Duty Vanguard. Now, what you see here, I don't know if it will pertain to the new map on Warzone yet. We don't know how the engine is going to merge or mingle. We don't know how it's going to work quite exactly just yet. This video is going to be strictly for multiplayer as of the time of this recording. So what may seem like 5 seconds of footage to you took me all afternoon to actually record. Like, just trying to get into the same spot, keep requeuing to get into the same map, and then if you actually get into the same map and you spawn on the other side of the map, you got to kind of fight your way through to get to the right side of the map, just so you're in the same spot. You'll see what I mean when we get to the footage. Now, before we continue, I am not going to be including FSR numbers today. We're going to be just doing straight native resolution. I know there is FSR in the game, but we might save that for another video because I don't quite know how to tune that part of the engine just yet. So we're going to omit that for this video and just stick to strictly native resolution. There's no point in going over what settings I've used because I've customized the entire engine for pure FPS, right? So even if you copied down my exact settings, you would get less FPS than what I show here today. So that's not the goal of today's video. The goal is, under ideal conditions and with all of these parts fully maxed out, how does this game engine perform, right? So without further ado, let's move on to the numbers. So we're starting off at 1080p with both of these CPUs, and the 10900K is on average about 20 FPS faster. But the caveat is that the 10900K was pushing the 3090 to 99% usage. So this game engine literally is GPU bottlenecked with a 3090 at 1080p. Let that sink in for a second. A 3090 is GPU bottlenecked in 1080p. Imagine Call of Duty having a GPU bound game in 1080p. 2021. Now, why does the 10900K beat the 5950X with a 3090? Because the NVIDIA driver likes a lot of fast cores. It's as simple as that. The 3090 can actually get bottlenecked by a 10900K in 1080p just because that CPU is so damn fast. The 6900 XT is next on both of these CPUs, and the 6900 XT completely demolishes the 3090 in this game. It's 100 FPS more for the 6900 XT. It is completely bad shit. So I'm assuming that this game is very well optimized for RDNA 2. It's not even close, even for both of these CPUs. The 5950X actually seems to have about 20 to 30 FPS more on average. Smart access memory is enabled. Gather around, my friends. Let me paint you a picture. If you're using a 360 hertz monitor here, or 240 hertz, I guess, whatever, then you can use pretty much any combination of these parts together, and you'll have about 330 or higher locked, right? If you're using that new Acer 390 hertz one, though, and you're playing this game competitively for some reason, you have to get this combo. 5950X, 5950X, 6900 XT. This is the only combo that will max out a 390 hertz monitor as of the time of this recording. Do you also see how Modern Warfare was a completely CPU bound engine, where the faster your CPU, the more frames you get? In this one, in Vanguard, it's the complete opposite. It doesn't really matter what CPU you have. It's all about the GPU in this case. It's a complete like 180 versus what they had before. For 1440p, we have the 3090 on the left and the 6900 XT on the right. It's pretty much the exact same FPS as it was before. You can just take off about 20 to 30 FPS on each side. And the game responds really well to higher resolution. So it's not really resolution bound. There's just something else in the engine going on there, like textures or shadows or something else is hitting the GPU, but it's actually not the resolution. So I think currently the fastest 1440p monitor on the market right now is 270 hertz. I could be wrong. I haven't kept up with those ones. But in terms of 270 hertz at 1440p, any of these combos will work. So don't really worry about that. If you're a 1440p gamer, then you're pretty much good to go. The only time this kind of AMD on AMD scenario comes into play here is if you're going to be using this 390 hertz or potentially a 460 hertz monitor in the future, or maybe in the future if a 1440p 320 hertz one comes along. This is the GOAT. This is the one that you'll want for this game. This combo here wins by a mile, which is really interesting. They were the latest drivers and everything, so that wasn't it. It's just this game does not like NVIDIA cards. So if you do the math here, the 6900 XT had a peak of 460. The 3090 had a peak of like 370, I want to say 24%. So the 6900 XT is 24% faster than a 3090 in Vanguard. Huh. So not much more to say here. I don't know if this game actually had some kind of partnership with AMD going into it, just like Modern Warfare had a partnership with NVIDIA, right? And I believe Black Ops did as well. But again, this does not pertain to Warzone, and is the new Warzone map going to be using some elements of this engine is what I'm curious about, right? Is it going to alleviate a lot of that CPU bottleneck? What if we're going to be approaching 400 hertz in Warzone coming with that new map? Really exciting stuff here. Yeah, what I was actually telling my Discord the other day is if we see more of this stuff going on, where there's more partnerships with different GPU vendors, especially with Intel coming into the play here pretty soon, we're gonna start needing to have like, okay, so if you're like a competitive gamer, we're gonna start needing to have like dual GPU setups, like legitimately, right? So if I had like a 460 hertz monitor and I was playing competitive esport games, I would need to cycle which graphics card I was using based on the game engine that I was playing. It's wild to think about, but that's kind of the future that we're headed towards here. Just seeing this, right? We'll see what happens with Warzone here coming up. I think the new map's dropping a month or two from now, but we got to be careful about that new anti-cheat that's going to be absorbing some CPU resources here. Also, Alder Lake is going to be coming out right around the same time as well, so there's going to be a lot of Warzone-esque type of content coming up. So if you are a Warzone player, hit that subscribe button, because your boy, oh yeah, that's me, your boy is going to have all the secrets on how to get that FPS. You want that competitive advantage? This is the place to be, my friend. Anyway, guys, if you like the content, hit that subscribe button. Do all that YouTube SEO stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Comment down below what you think about these crazy-ass results. Did not expect this to happen, but interesting nonetheless. Anyway, guys, I'll talk to you in the next one. Talk to you later. Oh yeah, suck my dick. Oh fuck, I sucked his dick. God damn it, dude. That FPS makes a difference. The FPS makes the difference. Huge difference. Okay, let's do this. Oh shit, fucking. My team sucked.